we are sharing with our fellow colleagues in our chat room. The statement that I'm about to make is in the chat room, so please follow from the chat room. And to our guests, we are sharing copies of this statement. Please give copy to the MFDP, LRA, and the BSE. Are we done? Okay, thank you. It reads, statement by the Ways, Means, Finance and Development Planning Committee, 55th Honorable House of Representatives, Capitol Building, Monrovia, Liberia, June 10, 2025, but today is June 11. Let's make that correction. And the caption is Ways, Means and Finance Development Planning FY-2025 Legislative Agenda. Monrovia, Liberia. On June 4, 2025, the House's Statutory Committee on Ways, Means, Finance and Development Planning adopted its legislative agenda, which contains an outline of proposed policies that the committee intends to consider acting upon during the FY-2025 fiscal period. This legislative agenda is a roadmap consisting of 5 strategies that will guide the work of the committee and ensure a focused approach to legislative actions for the fiscal periods mentioned above. Strategy number 1, strategic fiscal planning and management. Revenue generation focus. The agenda allows the committee to routinely conduct quarterly revenue performance hearings, which will better enhance the committee's position to strategically plan and prioritize legislative actions related to revenue generation, including tax policies, custom duties, and other sources of government income, particularly considering to tackle revenue leakages. This ensures a more predictable and sustainable revenue stream for the national budget. Expenditure oversight. The agenda allows the committee to also routinely conduct quarterly expenditure hearings, which will better enhance the committee's understanding and ability to decide and use a strategy to proactively address legislation coming or concerning government's expenditure, ensuring efficiency, accountability, and alignment with national development priorities. Debt management. Also, in addition, the agenda allows the committee to monitor debt payment schedules as approved, and based on informed knowledge and understanding gained from routine quarterly budget performance review, the committee shall develop and include plans to review and potentially legislate on matters related to national debt, ensuring responsible borrowing and sustainable debt management practices. Strategy number 2, enhance budgetary process and efficiency. Under that, inform budget deliberations. The committee will decide a clear legislative agenda on fiscal matters and shall equip the committee with the necessary groundwork and understanding to engage more effectively in the annual budget process. This shall also include capacity building of its members, the Legislative Budget Bureau, the LBO, and other technical arms of the House. The committee shall better access revenue projections expenditure proposals, and the overall fiscal framework. Timely fiscal legislation. The agenda intends to review, revise, amend existing legislations, and enact new legislations with the ultimate objective to address gaps in the law, remove ambiguities by providing clarity, remove overlaps or conflicts with other functions of government institutions, as well as to streamline the process of enacting crucial fiscal legislation that underpins the budget, ensuring timely implementation of government's financial plans. Coordination with budget planning. The committee shall facilitate better coordination by appointing a legislative liaison to the executive branch agencies responsible for the budget preparation and execution. Strategy number 3, promoting economic stability and growth. Fiscal policy framework. The committee's legislative agenda will align with the nation's fiscal policy, influencing economic stability, investment climate, ensuring policies address inequalities and underserved or underprivileged groups, populations, as well as overall growth prospects. A well-defined fiscal policy agenda can contribute to a predictable and favorable economic environment. Tax reform initiatives. The agenda shall include plans for tax reform aimed at simplifying the tax system, broadening the tax base, promoting fairness, and attracting investment. Resource mobilization for development. By strategically focusing on revenue generation and efficient expenditure, the committee's agenda shall contribute to mobilizing additional resources needed for national development programs and for infrastructure projects. Strategy number 4, ensuring transparency, accountability, and good governance. Public accountability of fiscal matters. The agenda allows for the active participation in Liberia's periodic fiscal evaluations and adherence to the government's signature principles of fiscal transparency. A publicly available legislative agenda of the committee shall enhance transparency, allowing citizens, civil society, organizations, business community, as well as independent global bodies to understand the committee's priority and intention regarding the nation's finances. In this vein and in this effort, the committee stands on behalf of the House to establish and foster its Internal Revenue Office for transparency and accountability in the House of Representatives. Accountability for fiscal decisions. The agenda provides a basis for adhering to existing financial management systems and tools, and instituting new prudent financial management systems, structures, and regimes, and for holding the committee accountable for its action and progress in managing the nation's financial resources responsibly. Building trust in fiscal management. A clear and consistent approach to fiscal legislation shall be guided by an annual agenda of audits, comprehensive fiduciary financial reviews, to foster great public trust in government's management of public funds. 5. Strategy number 5, responding to economic challenges and opportunities. Adaptability to economic shift. The committee's annual agenda will also be flexible enough to accommodate emerging development or economic challenges and opportunities that require legislative attention and actions. Proactive measures. The committee will be proactive in addressing potential fiscal risks and in seizing opportunities for economic advancement through legislative actions. Therefore, the committee likes to conclude that an annual legislative agenda for the House's Committee on Ways, Means and Finance is indispensable for sound fiscal management, effective budgetary process, and promotion of economic stability and growth, and the upholding of transparency and accountability in Liberia. It provides the essential roadmap for the committee's critical role in shaping the nation's financial destiny. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. With that being said,
So that was
for the purpose of this
legislative budget office. The
performance hearing,
55th
the committee shall
National
read
Legislative
further,
Bidding
share with the
after
MSDP,
their hearings
the role
on
the LRA,
fiscal
these
year
documents, please.
2025 first quarter
It's also
budget
in our chat room.
performance report heard in the first
In
conference
order
room
to guide
of
our sitting
the
here,
House of
there are some documents that we
Representatives.
refer to
Ms.
and would like to
Ellen
share
TV,
with
just
you and with the
join
public.
us.
If you can recall, the 2025 budget is a law, and we'd like to refer you to that. An act to approve the budget for the fiscal year beginning January 1 to ending December 31st, 2025, providing for the expenditure of government of the Republic of Liberia. Fellow colleagues and our dear guests, today marks an important moment for all of us as we strive to fulfill our collective duty, honor the public financial law and the 2025 budget law, to hold a quarterly budget performance hearing. As chairman of the Ways, Means and Finance Committee of the Honorable House of Representatives, I'd like to emphasize a fundamental point that the national budget must be a financial document of reality. The national budget must be a tool for transformation that is measurable by the quality of services delivered to the Liberian people. The Ways, Means and Finance Committee pledged its support to work with the executive in championing the intent to raise the national envelope to $1 billion budget. In so doing, the committee has been working to curb revenue leakages that occur knowingly and unknowingly due to inefficiencies, due to billing errors, due to gaps in our revenue mobilization processes. We are aware that some of these leakages can happen in various ways, such as inaccurate billing or due slippage, uncollected payments, contract mismanagement, pricing inconsistency, tax evasion, including bad data collection and usage, and etc. As a way of setting the pace for discussion of the performance hearing today, the committee would like to bring to highlight the following from the 2025 budget law. If you go to section 4 of the 2025 budget law with the caption "Capturing all general revenues of Liberia," it states, quote, "All internally generated funds, IGF, shall be remitted to the consolidated account. All spending entities that are legally entitled to share of the IGF shall prepare annual budgets for the usage of the share of the IGF. They shall also submit monthly reports on the usage of such IGFs to form part of the quarterly fiscal outing to be submitted to the legislature by the MFDP. If you read the law under P in the same section 4, it states, all spending and revenue generating entities shall submit quarterly reports to the legislature through a specified procedure and reporting templates to be regulated by the Committee on Ways, Means, Finance and Development Planning and Public Accounts and Expenditure Committee, for the purpose of providing a comprehensive report on actual performance of the FY-2025 budget. All spending entities shall present a comprehensive expenditure report to the legislature through the Committee on Ways, Means, Finance and Development Planning and the Public Account Committee on Expenditure, or on or before the 15th of the month following the first, second, and third quarters of the year, with last being submitted before January 31st, 2026. Under the same law, there is letter H, and I read, the Liberia Revenue Authority shall ensure the timely collection of all taxes, to include SOEs, contributions, and arrears from road fund on a monthly basis, and the maritime remittance payment being consistent with the LISCA agreement, provided that all contributions shall be remitted at most on a quarterly basis, while the Bureau of State Enterprise shall ensure that I, J, K, L, M, and O, that is referencing the budget law, I, J, K, L, M, and O, financial reporting of all SOE are presented fairly, taking into account the expenditure and revenue to the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning in keeping with Section 58.1, 58.2, and 59 of the amended and restated PFN law of 2019. Under the same caption, letter I states, the Liberian Immigration Service, LRS, shall retain 5% of revenue generated for the enhancement for the insurance of visa and resident permit to cover costs of providing those services at real time, so as to ensure efficiency in their services. J, under the same law, states, the Liberian Telecommunication Authority shall use not more than 8% of its share of the revenue generated for the implementation of the programs, which include the rollout of the Information Communication Technology in parentheses ITC in the counties. K of that same law states, the effective monitoring of all SOEs shall be conducted on a monthly basis by the BSE, the Bureau of State Enterprise, and the conduction of a debt vetting process of all public corporations for the purpose of collectibles and writing off of uncollectibles at a cost of 0.025%. In the document you have, is mistaken as 0.25. It should be 0.025% of the gross income per annum as stated in the BSC Act. I, on the L, under the same law, the Liberian Revenue Authority shall have viewing and garnishing rights to all internal revenue generating accounts of revenue generating entities, to include all SOEs. To conclude, fellow colleagues, our guests and members of the third estate, I'd like to say, while carrying on this exercise, the committee encourages all of our colleagues that are here in the House of Representatives, whether you're on this committee or not, we encourage government agencies, the civil society, we encourage the press as well and the general public to provide legal potential matters or issues of concern that can help make this performing hearing process effective in the interest of the Liberian people. I'd like to say thank you very much, and this is the position of this committee at the start of this hearing. I'd like to say thank you. With that being said, we will proceed by asking the press to leave us for now, and we continue with presentations from the Ministry of Finance, then the LRA and the PSE to set the basis before we start inviting the SOE. So order.